my bizmates. This is Coach Aiet, and welcome to a series of coffee chats with me. I am Coach Aiet, and I help family businesses and MSMEs to have a continuity of their legacies by putting structure on their business operations. Well, as for me, I would like to introduce myself this way, and I hope that you will stay on later until we end the session. I'm Coach Aiet, and I serve the Winning Circle as a business builder mentor in CEO Insights Asia. And I help clients and mentees strategize, grow, and win their businesses and protect their multi-million legacy. And this show, the Secure and Happy Lifestyle Show, aims to serve as a one-stop shop for solutions and insights for MSMEs who are starting in business or currently on business succession and legacy planning. We will be talking about how to start a business right the first time. So parang masyado siyang mabigat, ano? But how many of you guys here are into or have started a business? So if you are, you're in for a good session tonight because we invite a guest speaker, and later on you will know him better about what he does and what his journey has been being an entrepreneur. So business startup checklist. So what are these? Medyo konti lang naman siya, but as we go through the following, I will be giving you the tips para madali siyang matandaan. So number 1, find a good business idea. When you say ideas, how do you now qualify if it's a good idea, right? So one way to look at it is this way. Because based on your strength, but usually sabi nila, you have to be passionate about what you really want, yan, para hindi mo siya kakatamaran. Or, diba, sa business life cycle, there is such thing as a beginning, a start, tapos there's also peak, and then after the peak, you plateau, and then it dies down, right? So what we want to know here and is to have those, saan ba tayo? Nasaan ba tayong part? Nasaan ba tayong level in our business? To start up a business, we need to be passionate about it. So sabi nga nila, it doesn't really define if you're just passionate, diba? You have to action that passion in you. So dapat na-SWOT natin siya. Meaning, in a quadrant, you're able to identify your strength, the possible weakness, the opportunities, and the strength. And another, you have to also qualify if it's a good business idea to define. So you have to have your mission and vision. Ano ba ang success for me? So you have to define your own success and a well-managed research. Number 2, you have to test your business idea and do market research. So it's not enough that you are passionate about it. You have to also build the parameters around it. So you have to define the problem and your target niche. So yung target market, sino ba yung ideal customer sa'yo? Have you had a financial plan to start with? And if you are familiar with mind mapping, you also need to map it out for your milestones. Number 3, ayan, this is something that is close to my heart because I teach this in Kidpreneur sessions that we were in. We teach kids how to be entrepreneurial minded. You have to draft a business plan. And when you do, it's all about beginning with a goal, paano yung marketing strategies mo, ano yung financials mo, and how you will operate. Number 4, you have to brand your business. And when we say branding the business, it has to be very careful because marketing is a cost center, right? So you have to still look at it in a way na okay lang na gumastos ka, but it has to be mitigated with how yung projection mo, paano siya mag-ROI. And if the marketing fits well with or sits well with your mission and vision. And I would like to shout out because recently I rebranded my page and my website. And to brand a business is to have customer loyalty and higher sales, right? So in order for you to attain that, you have to develop a tagline. Okay? So yung tagline natin sa Coach Aiet would be, doing it right the first time. So we are a firm believer na you will earn customer loyalty and really good customer experience if na-satisfy or na-delight natin ang customers. And one way to do that is also to decide on your brand message. Who do I cater? I cater to MSMEs, family businesses who would like to sustain their legacies from one generation to the next. And your brand needs to have the tone of your voice or your character. And finally, to create a logo. So if you will go to my page, you will see there na parang my laurels, and then basically what I identify myself on would be to really nurture somebody, grow the business for that matter. And I would like to also give this credit to my graphic artist who actually did that logo, si Lad Gutierrez. If you have logos in mind that you want, done graphically, please feel free to reach out to him. I would just like to, because he's also a good friend. So after branding your business, we would also like to get financed, and we do this only, okay? Only if you need to. Okay, so usually when you are a startup, medyo depend and everything, but I tell you this, okay? If it's not your core competency, I suggest that you outsource it. Okay, so outsource it would mean focusing on your core competencies, your inner strength, yan, and you will do more. And magiging mas effective ka because you are efficient. And when I say get financed, the top of mind for this is MCF, yan, by Luisa Lapare. You can also go for zero capital. When you say zero capital, you offer your services, etc. So if you want to know more about that, it'll be for another session, okay? Next would be set up shop. So not everybody here will cater to retail or will have inventories, right? So most of us, especially now, it's pandemic period, we offer services that are online. So when we say set up shop, ano importante dyan? Ang importante dyan is location, okay? And also mga warehouse, if you are into the retail business, etc. But the most important point that I want to put emphasis on is to purchase insurance. Why? Because this type of insurance will depend on the needs of your business. For example, you have your workers' compensation, your liability, life insurance, property and disability insurance. So all of those things that you have to consider, especially if you would like to have hands on deck. Because sometimes people will have businesses, but it's just for one person or services. Usually parang we start with tayo muna, maybe a partner, and then later on we want to grow the numbers and earn more, especially if there is an increased demand for our service. And then next would be market and launch your ideas and your business ideas. So when we say market and launch business ideas, isa lang naiisip ko dyan, di ba? Go into social media platforms. Create your website. And isa lang din yung naiisip ko na pwedeng I can recommend to you also. Currently, ang napakagandang experience na nangyari sa amin dito sa company is to outsource our digital marketing to Passionate Creators Agency. And usually, you don't have to, there's a lot of things to think about. What's your content? What's your marketing plan? What's your campaign about? From those intangible things that you need to package yourself on for your brand message, you also need to have your uniforms, etc. When you market and launch your business. And this is very important because this will have an opportunity to get things going with a bang, sabi nga nila. So for instant recall, you need to be seen. And usually, also, ang nangyayari, we affiliate to other people so that we get more clients or we join forums and communities and platforms such as BBN, right? So And finally, ayan, that's my last tip. Make it legal and compliant. So when we say legal and compliant, we want our businesses to be able to grow, scale, pivot, right? So in these times of pandemic, uh, there's a lot of businesses that started, yes, and it's good because it's a form of resilience. It's a sign of resiliency, and that's what we advocate here in Bounce Back, diba? So for those people who are there looking and start for a possible startup, I would like to invite you to join these types of sessions wherein we exchange insights and ideas. And I hope you're also commenting your ideas online. And so, because of that last line, ayan, I would like to introduce our next frame. So,
Hi guys, this is Professor Sai. I am the Chairman and CEO of the XDT Group of Companies, composed of the following companies and corporation. Number 1, XDT and Company Incorporated. Number 2, DDR Real Estate Brokerage Services. Number 3, Dela Torre de Jesus Rosario CPAs. And of course, number 4, Flight Travel Express. Our vision is to become the preferred business solutions partner of micro, small, medium enterprises, including professionals such as brokers and financial advisors in the industry. Our mission is to provide services in the field of taxation, accounting, and business advisory on the field of real estate, insurance, and investment, guided by the principle of quality, value, and integrity. Our core competency is accounting, and we specialize in tax and estate planning for clients and investments. We help our clients optimize their tax solutions by reducing their tax liabilities legally and, of course, taking the benefits under the TRAIN law and applicable regulations under the local government code. We reach out to communities of professionals, business persons, and entrepreneurs by teaching them and training them to be tax and accounting compliant by telling them or mentoring them in the fields of businesses having the 3 S of business: structure, system, and strategy. And here are the benefits why we need to register our business or even our practice of profession. By being tax compliant means we are contributing to the country by helping our government and its citizens. Next, bring your business to the next level where you can be marketable through increased credibility. And lastly, scale up your target market and optimize your business. Our team is here to help you do the basics in startup: registration, filing, accounting, and audit. We help you with your business so you can focus more on your core competency, increasing sales, margins, and revenues.
We are STD Group. We help you grow your business.
ayan, without further introduction, sobrang na-introduce na siya, no? Ayan, how are you, Prof. Sai? Hello
Okay,
and good
thank you
evening.
so much, Coach Aiet, for having me for this session. I'm actually excited in doing this one, because it's always been my personal advocacy, helping friends, fellow professionals, and even micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs po to become tax compliant. Being a former BIR officer po, ano yan, it's always been very, very close to my heart. Yan. So thank you so much again, Coach Aiet, for having me for this session po.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. And go ahead and we would like to hear more of you how we can make our businesses compliant and so that we can do it right the first time.
Whenever we are doing business, always and almost always, ang question kasi is, ano ba yung purpose ng business natin, Coach Aiet? Well, others would say, kasi gusto kong kumita. Others would say, kasi Prof, advocacy ko kasi to or Prof, passion ko kasi to But I like one of my mentors po, and I really admire this guy, si Sir Francis Kong. Yan, shout out to Sir Francis Kong. Sabi niya when I attended his leadership seminar, sabi niya, guys, the purpose of a business is to meet a need. Profit is simply the outcome or profit is simply the byproduct of doing something. So makita mo, no, Coach Aiet, especially last year po, when we had this pandemic or when the pandemic started, it posted both an opportunity and of course a problem. Well, actually, tama naman po. Whenever we are presented with certain situations like the pandemic, ang tingin mo ba doon is it an opportunity or is it a problem? Parang in the classic case of, oh, ano ba tingin mo rito sa baso na to? Half empty or half full? So, ako po, when I saw that we have this pandemic, I saw this as an opportunity to be able to help fellow professionals, most especially Coach Aiet, micro, small, and medium entrepreneurs po. Why? Because almost and always, the problem of these startup companies and even professionals po is, how do I scale up? How do I improve my operations? How do I expand my business? Or how do I even become successful with what I am doing? So, ang tanong doon, ready ba tayo? Ang tanong doon, are we compliant? Ang tanong doon is, are we even registered to make our business considered to be legal? And you know, Coach Aiet, almost and always, pag nagko-conduct nga ako ng mga seminars po with professionals and even mga startup, mga freelancers, if I may be allowed to use the word freelancers po, ang laging tanong nila, Prof, kailangan ba namin mag-register? Maliit lang naman yung business namin eh. Simple lang naman yung business namin eh. So, laging ganun po yung tanong, Coach Aiet. And I always tell them, guys, if you want to make it good, if you want to make it big, always do it right the first time. Yan. Kasi how can you expand something legally, okay, or improve something legally if from the start pa lang may problema tayo in terms of registration? Which is why, you know, our good friends from BIR, and especially because of the new train law and create law, ginawa na po ng BIR na mas simple po ang registration. And normally kasi, Coach Aiet, for professionals and freelancers po, laging ang tanungan nila doon is, should I register? Simple lang po ang sagot, yes, you should register po. You go to the BIR nearest to your place of residence, fill out the application form, and within an hour or two, makukuha mo na yung certificate of registration mo. Kaya nga po, Coach Aiet, mapansin nyo, no? Well, because of this train law that we have right now, it posted a lot of opportunities as well for both professionals and entrepreneurs po. Yung corporation, siguro banggitin ko na lang mamayang konti, but normally kasi, especially last year, Coach, alam mo, trivia lang. I read this in one of the articles in Philippine Star. Trivia lang. You know, last year, we have this pandemic po, no? But according to DTI, there were more than 500,000, Coach. More than 500,000, Filipinos who registered with DTI. Mga professionals, mga entrepreneurs, mga freelancers po. Imagine 500,000, and that's basically an opportunity. Or sometimes, I may call it's a testament na ang Pilipino kasi very resilient eh. Would you agree, guys? Diba? Tayo mga Pilipino very resilient eh. Binabaha na tayo, pero pagka kinunan tayo ng picture, nakangiti pa rin. Ganyan ka-resilient ang mga Pilipino. Or tumatawid ka sa EDSA, masasagasaan ka na, pero nakangiti ka pa rin. Ganyan tayo mga Pilipino. But looking back on this one, ang maganda kasi sa Trello, Coach Aiet, is in-expand po yung, in terms of taxation, in-expand po yung rates natin eh. Yes, and it would start from 20% to a maximum of 35% for individuals po. So ang tanong mo na lang doon is, should I register po as a VAT-registered taxpayer or a non-VAT registered taxpayer? Well, I always tell good friends na kung since startup, then you might want to take opportunity or take advantage for non-VAT registration. Pag sinabi kasi natin, Coach Aiet, na non-VAT, it's applicable both for mga service-oriented professionals or MSMEs and even po yung mga trading companies po. Pero ang sabi kasi ng trade law, if your gross revenue, gross sales, or gross professional fees or commission would be 3 million or below, then register as a non-VAT. Ang maganda kasi pagka non-VAT ka, and this is actually the first time that we have this after several years, okay, ang maganda kasi pagka non-VAT, well, you can enjoy the lowest tax rate. You're not going to pay 10%, you're not going to pay 20%, not even 30%, Coach Aiet eh. Guys, you're not even going to pay 30% even if your commission as a professional, as a freelancer, would reach more than 1 million. Ang maganda ron, we were given the opportunity and the choice na to take advantage of the 8% flat rate. Ang ganda po, no? Parang, let us say, kumita ka ng 1 million, instead of paying the usual 30% tax bracket as we usually see po. Dati nga, Coach Aiet, pag lumagpas ka ng 500,000, nandun ka na kagad sa 32% na tax bracket. But now, of course, binaba pa siya. And good news, guys. Good news po. Especially if you are registered already, you can take advantage of this 8%. Imagine, kumita ako ng 1 million, assuming, let us say, net income, whether as a professional or as a micro, small, or medium entrepreneur, 1 million. Ang tax ko lang at 8%. Ang maganda ron, meron ka pang deduction na 250,000 personal exemption. Regardless kung if you are single, you are married, or if you are head of the family. Kasi dati, Coach Aiet, medyo may konti pang disparity. Pag single ka, ito lang ang pwede mong exemption. Pag head of the family ka, ito. Pag married ka, ito. But now, ginawa na po siyang ginawa na siyang uniform. Whether single, head of the family, or married ka po, 250,000. So parang practically speaking, you're even paying less than 8% po. Yun naman ang maganda ron eh. And how would I be able to avail that, Professor Sai? Guys, as a freelancer po, if you are registered with BIR, you can avail of that benefit or incentive under the government. Pero ang problema, what if, Prof, kung hindi ako registered? I'm so sorry, but you cannot basically avail the 8% flat rate. Ang masakit pa nga doon, Coach Aiet, if you are not registered with the BIR, you might be experiencing what? Penalties. May surcharge, may interest, may compromise penalties po. And more often than not, ganyan, Coach, yung nangyayari sa mga sa mga startup companies. Kasi yung iba ang thinking nila laging ganito, hindi mo na ako magre-register kasi baka mamaya hindi naman maging successful tong business na to eh. Or hindi mo na ako magre-register, Coach Aiet, kasi alam mo, maliit pa lang naman tong business na to eh. Laging ganun po yung reasoning ng mga kaibigan po natin. And because that is their reasoning, before they know it, lumaki na yung operations nila, di ba? But hindi rin nila nasagot yung basic requirement na, am I registered po? Yan. Yung pala, hindi ka pala registered, di ba? Tapos bigla kang ma-penalize. Or worse, ito yung mangyayari, Coach Aiet eh. Yung kailangan mo ng financial statement for, let us say, for accreditation with suppliers, with the banks. Pero the problem nga, since hindi ka registered, more often than not, hindi nagagawa po yung mga ganon. Pero, Prof, question, what if kung let us say naman corporation? Good news, guys. Kung meron tayong train law for individuals, meron din naman po tayong create law or yung tinatawag natin corporate recovery and tax incentives for enterprises. Kasi Coach, pwede namang corporation, even they are classified as micro, small, or medium enterprises. Ang maganda pa nga, good news guys. Alam niyo po ba, because of the create law, of course, if you are registered po, pagka corporation kasi, Coach, of course, dadaan ka sa Securities and Exchange Commission, then again, BIR. Ang maganda doon, Coach Aiet, they are able to experience and enjoy lower tax rates po. Alam mo ba, pag corporation, Coach Aiet, okay, under the rules of the BIR or under the create law, they can enjoy as low as 20%. Imagine 20%, guys, ha? For those who are listening and watching right now, dati ang corporation, 30%, guys. Ibig sabihin, kung kumita ako ng 1 million, net income, for instance, net income, I end up paying 30% of what I've earned, or 30% of 1 million, Coach Aiet, that's around 300,000. Mabigat ba yung 300,000? Yes. But now, since I'm classified as micro, small, or medium enterprise po, ang maganda doon, I can enjoy a lower tax rate, which is 20%. Ang tanong na lang, guys, ganito. For those who are listening and watching right now, Prof, how do I avail that 20% as a corporation? Well, simple lang naman ang sabi ng Create Law. If your net income for the year is 5 million or below, and second qualification, Coach Aiet, is yung total asset ng corporation mo or ng company mo is 100 billion and below, then you are basically classified as Coach Aiet, as a small and medium enterprise po. Qualified ka ngayon to enjoy the lower tax rate. Ngayon, paano, Prof, pagka more than 5 million yung yung kinikita ko? Well, doon ka sa susunod na bracket, which is 25%. And ang tawag na natin doon, for tax purposes, mga large corporations. Or for classification purposes po. Yan. So yun po yung maganda, Coach Aiet, with being registered with BIR. You get to enjoy benefits po. Less the hassle, less the penalties, less the surcharge, less the interest penalties po. So sabi nga natin, di po ba? Gagawin mo na rin lang naman, gawin mo na ng tama at ng maayos. How do I know na I am small and medium? Again, 5 million po ang net income or below. Ang total asset ng corporation is 100 million and below. Pagka hindi po nasunod tong criteria na to, any of these two, doon ka sa 25% na income tax rate for corporation.
Ito. How will I know that I am ready to register? The moment I identify the business idea ba? Or paano ba to? Kapag na-draft ko na ba yung business plan ko, ready na ako mag-register? What are the criteria na, okay, I would like to register na? When is it?
Pag Coach Aiet, kasi as individual po, let's say as a professional or even as a freelancer po, what would be my indicative period that I am already or I should be registering already? Before you start your actual operation po, you have to be registered with BIR. Pagka mga professionals nga, simple hindi mo na nga kailangan pumunta ng DTI actually. Kahit punta ka lang sa local government and secure yung tinatawag nating PTR or Professional Tax Receipt. Yan.
Ano naman yung OTR? Dalawa kasi, di ba? Professional at saka occupational.
OTR.
Tama ba?
Normally, yung PTR kasi, these are professions which are generally regulated by the PRC. Let's say, mga CPAs, mga doctors, mga architects.
May mga license.
Opo. Tapos meron din namang mga professionals na hindi sila directly regulated by the PRC. Pwedeng mga salespersons, mga financial advisors, regulated sila but not by the PRC. So, normally, ang kinukuha po nilang license sa city o yung OTR, Occupational Tax Receipt. Kasi service din po yung line of business, yung line of work nila. Ngayon, Prof, paano yun kung let's say I'm going to be an online seller? Yan.
Yes.
So,
paano yan, mga freelance?
Mga freelance or I'm going to engage in trading pero online po siya.
Di ba? Mga ganun.
Tinatawag natin e-commerce.
Dropshipper.
Mga ganun, yung mga dropshipper. Then you go to DTI to register your business. Kasi isa, profession. Isa naman, business, actual business po. You go to DTI and get your registered DTI name. And once you have that, diretso na kayo sa BIR. Actually, sa BIR, mabilis lang, Coach
Oo.
Mabilis
kasi
lang siya.
Online na rin sila, di ba? Hi to our BIR friends.
Mabilis lang. And very, very, naman po, friendly. Yan. So, hi to our good friends from BIR. Yan. Hello po. Pwede namang single proprietor ka muna para naman masubukan mo kung talagang you are, sige po. Here's the good thing with corporations right now, Coach Aiet. Even if you are the sole owner of the property or the business, you can also start a corporation, Coach, because meron tayo tinatawag under the revised corporation code, yung OPC, Coach, o yung one-person corporation. Yes, yung one-person corporation, which you can also enjoy the lower tax rate of 20%. Yan.
Alright.
And basta ang sinasabi ko lagi is if you will be engaging yourself in business, let us say trading or online selling po, then you might want to set it up as a corporation or a one-person corporation para ma-enjoy mo kagad yung 20% na tax rate.
Yung mga benefits.
Pero if you're going to practice a profession po, let us say as a financial advisor, a salesperson, a freelancer po, a virtual assistant, then ang kailangan mong gawin po doon is punta ka ng LGU, kuha ka ng OTR. Yan.
Okay.
Para less expensive po in terms of registration, Coach Aiet. Yan naman yun naman po ang benefit nun. Pero pwede ba yun, Prof? Kung let's say may single proprietorship na ako, tapos afterwards i-convert ko siya sa corporation? Yes, pwede po yun.
But is there a time period wherein kailangan 3 years ka munang sole prop or you can automatically convert after a year?
Coach Aiet, wala naman kasi talagang hard and fast rule for that one. Ang sinasabi lang natin dito kasi is, ano ba yung advantage, Prof? Bakit kailangan corporation? Well, legally speaking, guys, if you are accepting investors dun sa company mo to become part owner, kumbaga sabi mo, Coach Aiet, I'm expanding my business and I really would like you to become part of our business. Would you be interested? Pagka ganon, to make it as a legal investment po, rather than simply as a creditor, Yung iba po, ang ginagawa, Coach Aiet, from a single proprietor, ginagawa na nilang corporation para they can issue po shares ng company. Kasi pagka
Correct.
single proprietor, Coach Aiet, legally you cannot do that. Hindi ka pwede
Oo.
magbigay ng ownership under a single proprietor kasi nga po, from the word itself, it is owned by one or by
One
an
person.
individual. Opo. Unlike a corporation, kung let us say, ikaw muna. Okay lang naman. Di mag one-person corporation ka. But if you are now ready to, let us say, accept investors, kapatid mo, magulang mo, then convert it into a regular corporation.
Okay,
Mag-finance ka
great.
ng capitalization. Yun po, Coach Aiet. Yun po.
Yes, okay. So for those people who are thinking about, okay, so ito yung naisip kong business idea, tapos I would like to have venture capitalists, yung ba tawag doon, na would like to venture and give me capital on this business venture, corporation agad siya.
Corporation
Tama ba,
talaga,
Roxanne?
Coach Aiet. Kasi some venture or simply capitalist po, in expectation for their capital contribution, they're expecting a percentage of ownership sa company. And you can only
Correct.
do that,
If you're a
Coach Aiet,
corporation.
if you are a corporation. Kasi pagka single proprietorship, ang tanong kagad nung ano mo, ng angel investor mo or ng prospective investor mo, how do I
Right.
get a certain ownership or equity of your company? Single proprietorship yung setup mo.
Prof, Sai, where can we find you? Di ba? You mentioned that you have your Facebook page. You also are found in the XDT community group in Facebook. You have the Instagram. And kailan ka namin mapapanood ulit? Or do you have any webinars, paid webinars or free
Free
webinars for
webinars.
our
Okay, Coach Aiet, ito,
exhibits?
i-share ko lang po kung okay lang. I'd like to shout out yung mga good friends ko from the Always Be Closing Academy. From 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., we have this talk show, Thursday Thunder talk show with the fantastic coaches, Coach Ron C. and Coach Jeff Luz po, talking about everything in business, about financial industry, whatever we can talk about that would help your practice, your business, whether you're a financial advisor, a professional, guys. Ito po, every Thursday ito.
And I
Something
think
light.
you're also in your podcast, di ba? This is also in podcast.
Opo.
Available
So,
in Spotify and Apple. Yeah.
Opo. Ito to, every Thursday ito, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are listening and watching right now, yan. Check niyo po siya. It's, you're going to enjoy it, you're going to learn, matatawa kayo, at the same time, matututo. And we also have regular guest and Coach Aiet for this one.
Yes, that's correct. And this show is under the page of Always Be Closing Community. Tama ba?
Correct po.
All right,
And,
okay.
in collaboration with the XDT group, Coach Aiet.
Okay. Thank you so much. And until next time, mga kabismates, once again, I am Coach Aiet, your business builder mentor. And I hope you stay safe and may we all have a secured and a happy lifestyle.